Go ahead.
Hi, happy to see everyone here today. My name is Kendra with Montana Child Care Business Connect, and you are at part 2 of our 6-part tiny training series. This is the third series that we have going on. Today's October 19th, 2023, and I'm excited to have everyone here today so that we can do our question and answer series with accounting. What are the tiny training series? These are 30-minute webinars every other Thursday from 1:30 to 2. We do that because that's nap time for everyone, and we're happy to do that. Today, if you are participating in this training, would you please put your name and where you're from in the contact chat so that we can get you credit for today's training? That would be wonderful. Just want to let you know that attendance of 4 of our tiny training series equals 2 hours of your ECP credits. So we're happy to have you here so you can be earning those. We have some upcoming trainings. The next tiny trainings that's coming up is with an insurance and risk person. That will be on November 2nd. On November 16th, we're going to come up to the L in our bail team, and we'll have legal and attorneys. On November 13th, we're going to come talking about human resources, and on December 14th, we're going to have someone from licensing and the R&Rs on for you. The goals for this question and answer series: number 1, we want to encourage and empower relationships. We want to give you guys a chance to ask questions with professionals and get access to people who have the knowledge that you're looking for your small business. And I'm very happy to have you here today. A little bit about Montana Child Care Business Connect. We launched in 2022. Our focus here at Montana Child Care Business Connect is to support communities and entrepreneurs with business elements of starting, owning, and operating your child care providers. Child care programs. We really want to see you guys succeed. My goal is that you will thrive in your small business. We focus on 5 critical areas in this. We focus on training, technical assistance, mentorship, community capacity and building, and then we have an incredible web resource hub at Montana Child Care Business Connect on our website. We are adding to that hub all the time, so we really encourage you guys to be taking a look at that and getting in touch there. We're staffed at Montana Child Care Business Connect by our director, Rhonda Schwenke. Then I have on the line with us today, Jason Nitschke. You guys are mostly all familiar with Jason. He is our senior child care business advisor. We have Heidi Bornovio and Shelby Whalen, Alex Dubois, Jennifer Owen, myself, Kendra Edlin, and Richard Heistman. Jason's been doing these tiny training series with you guys for the last 3 series and runs, and he's passing the reins to me today. He's a huge part of what we do here at Montana Child Care Business Connect. He is our senior child care business advisor. I encourage all of you who are looking for any technical assistance, personal reach outs, he is your guy and great to go to. And again, my name's Kendra. I'm moving into a training position here at Montana Child Care Business Connect, and I will also be doing a small amount of business advising alongside with Jason. So happy to be here. Very excited to talk to you guys today about our presenter, Dean Barta. Dean is the founder and the CEO of Barta Business Group. He's a trusted Barta Business Group is here in Helena, Montana. It's also in Colorado. Throughout Dean's 30 years of business experience, sorry, I'm going to grab my slide here really quick. Throughout Dean's 30 years in business experience, I'm so sorry. He and his team of professionals guide business owners in making the best decisions to grow their organizations so they can focus on doing what they love in their business. They serve clients throughout the United States. Dean takes pride in Dean takes pride in being a certified wilderness first responder. For the past 23 years, he once golfed a hole-in-one immediately after a 21-mile mountain bike ride. It's crazy. And he touts climbing Devil's Tower as his scariest outdoor activity adventure. He and his team of professionals guide business owners in making the best decisions to grow and organize their businesses. And I'd like to introduce to you today Dean, who is going to talk to us a little bit about accounting. Dean, welcome.
Thank you, Kendra, for the introduction. Thank you, Jason, for having this resource available for business owners. And I want to thank the participants too, because I've worked with enough entrepreneurs and business owners that the worst thing a business owner can do is try to do it by themselves. And so reaching out for and getting that assistance, kudos for you. You're already one step ahead of probably 90% of the business owners out there. So as Kendra mentioned, I'm originally from Montana, and but last year moved from Colorado back to Montana after being in Colorado for 30 years. And I have grew up on a 1,600 acre farm ranch in central Montana. So I have that blue collar work ethic in a white collar industry. So I can talk with either plumbers, farmers, and investment bankers all in one conversation. So and really excited to be here so that we can act as a guide, because my background is in guiding, hence the wilderness first responding, and for business owners, and point you in the right direction, because you have 101 things happening with your business, and I'm sure bookkeeping is not like your favorite thing you want to be doing. So I know that, I realize that. So we're here to help.
Great. Thanks, Dean. So as you guys know, these are personal one-on-one conversations with our professionals, and we want to give you guys time to ask questions specifically to our professionals that we bring onto the series. And Dean is here to talk about accounting to you, and he is here to answer every single individual question you have. We'd love to have participation in this. We do have two primary themes for today. The first one is understanding the tools that are available to you. And the second is how to use the partnership with an accountant. And I'm going to start the things off with a question for Dean. And then as you guys have questions, please just type them in. And we're going to, Jason will jump in with those questions, and we can go from there. So Dean, my first question for you is, what is the difference between a bookkeeper, an accountant, or a CPA?
That's a good question, because the whole of accounting is a big umbrella term. So that can cover bookkeeping, and it does cover, all the way through CPA, tax preparation services. And so if people say, hey, generally, if they're working with their accountant, sometimes that's a CPA, and sometimes that's a bookkeeper. What bookkeepers do is they handle all really the transactional stuff all the way through the financials, which are like a balance sheet, income statement. And CPA primarily is tax preparation. Of course, they do some advisory services, and they can do bookkeeping and all that, but not every CPA does that. Like our company, we focus on the bookkeeping, financial controller level, and CFO, chief financial officer areas. We don't do any taxes at all, but we prepare and help the client with all the financials, so that it actually makes the CPA's job easier when you're processing taxes. So so when you're looking for, it's as a question I ask clients is, what kind of accounting do you need? Do you need just bookkeeping? Do you need more higher level advisory services, or is all you need is tax preparation? And we can point you in the right direction to get you to the right resources. So
great. Any questions so far?
Well,
So move,
I'll just throw out a quick question. Is raise a hand if bookkeeping is your favorite activity in your business.
there are no hands being
I'm not
raised.
seeing any hands. What is that?
How many of you guys online actually do your own bookkeeping? How many would like to have someone else do your bookkeeping? All right. That's great. All right, so let's talk about the advantages of using an accountant, and then comparing that to using software like QuickBooks, online, those sorts of things.
Well, I think any business owner in whatever phase they're in, if they're just starting their business or they're 3 years in, they're 10 years in, getting guidance when it comes to accounting is really imperative. And sometimes, when you're starting out, it's just to guide you to say, here, do it this way. This is the right way to do it. And then, like a lot of you do your own bookkeeping, you understand some basic principles. It's not an activity that you enjoy. I already know that. But it's to ensure that you have confidence in the numbers and everything's being accounted for. So getting that outside guidance is really important. Now, how many people are not using accounting software? So they're not using QuickBooks, or you can put in the messages, what kind of accounting software are you using? Is it QuickBooks? Is it FreshBooks? Is it Xero? Is it, and yeah, there's one using QuickBooks. And so, highly recommend using accounting software if you're not using it right now. Spreadsheets, although they were great in the 80s and they're a useful tool, it's the S word. So it's because there's too many, like one person uses Quicken Home and Business. Great. You're using something that will link in your bank account, so you're not doing data entry. Once again, an 80s type of theme. No one should be doing data entry anymore, because there's too many really cost-effective accounting softwares out there that will save you lots of time. So it would be, using spreadsheets is like hand washing your laundry instead of using a washer and dryer. That's my and I know bookkeeping is like that dirty pile of laundry that you keep walking by. I know I got to do it. I know I got to do it. And it just gets getting bigger and bigger. And then at the year end, you're like, okay, I finally have to do the laundry. And then you do it and it's painful and it takes you a lot of time. How about just having that where, like we call it with other business owners, I call it Financial Friday. Like Friday morning at 8 a.m. is the least amount of, or whatever time period in the daycare services, that's when I focus on my bookkeeping and I don't do it any other time. Yeah, don't let the pile of laundry build up. It really sucks for everybody.
I think you're speaking all of our language too, Dean.
Yeah, but please let me know if something's not resonating with you. But it's both me and my team, we've seen a lot of different business owners, small and large, and it's a common theme for everybody.
Yeah. Well, what would you say are the best ways to utilize a bookkeeper or accounting professional?
Well, here, one, I use an acronym when it comes to, and I call it the ART. We practice the art of bookkeeping, and ART is ART. And these are the 3 things that you should require out of your bookkeeper, your CPA, your plumber, your window washer. Is A is accuracy, R is responsive communication, and T is timely financials, or in the case of a plumber or whatever, it's them being timely. Okay. And those are the 3 main reasons that existing business owners come to us. So I created that as a way that I tell people, use it with other services that you're using, because those are some, once again, maybe it's just my small town farm background, is actually be honest with people, make sure it's accurate. Responsive communication, that's just a sign of respect. And timely financial, that's the end product, right? I mean, whether it's a plumber or it's bookkeeping services, you want to get what you want to get, right? And we just kind of take it basic that way, because we deliver that. When we deliver on all of that, it takes care of 90% of the problems of business owners having. So I say, if that's resonates with you, run with it, use it with all the kind of services that you work with.
That's excellent. Thank you. So who in our participant list here, can we just have a show of hands or a text in the chat? How many of you would like to have better accounting practices in your small business? And what are specifically are we looking for here? When we say better, what would you like? What's in that pile of laundry?
I'd fine tune that. Is what is your biggest pain point when it comes to bookkeeping? Is it the data entry? Is it the amount of transactions? And I'd like to get everybody's participation on this, because I learned from you, and because you might stump me on, oh, I never realized you had an issue with that. So it's try to stump me today, because we like to approach, we learn so much from our clients that we're in a constant evolution. Oh, data entry. Okay.
Please come off mute too. You can totally come off mute and have conversation.
Yeah. So if you don't want to type something, just, open up your mic and just fire away. QuickBooks. I see QuickBooks. I don't know if that's their pain point or is that the software they're using, but sitting down to do it after 25, I'm decent with the process, just avoiding. Yeah, that's that pile of laundry. And, full disclosure, I don't like doing my own bookkeeping. To be honest with you, it's something that's a necessary evil for every business owner. I probably avoid it a lot less than some business owners, because I set aside time each week to work with it. And, one here, Christy mentions that, she used to stay on top of it. Have gotten worse in the last couple of years. It's really like any discipline. I don't care if you're trying to get in shape or, it's the same thing as, it's that, a stitch in time saves 9, I think is the old saying. So, is setting aside, like an example is in your business, there's certain things you have to focus on. And I'm a big believer of single tasking, not multitasking, meaning when you're talking with a client, you shouldn't be looking at your phone and checking emails and stuff like that, because when you have that undivided attention, people feel that, right? And so it's the same that if you're working with marketing, or if you're working with your childcare employees, or your parents, the kids definitely pick up on that. It's the same thing with bookkeeping. You set aside the time and you focus on that, and you turn off your phone and you do that, because that will help a lot, and it'll help on the avoidance too. It's like, hey, I know I got to do this, but I don't want to delay it. And if you do it, like sometimes for some businesses, it's only 15 minutes a week, and other businesses it might be an hour. But if you take care of it, and another thing is, you can remember something on Friday that happened on Monday, but you're not going to remember something on the 31st that happened on the 1st. So unless you've got a superior memory. So that's my advice on it. And I would really like to hear if someone pops on their phone too. And, an audio is just, besides that, I mean, what are some other challenges that you're having that this program has helped you with? I know
I'm not
people are thinking the wheel. I could hear the wheels turning.
Yeah, and the rule, Dean, in these types of presentations is to wait until the pause is uncomfortably long. So I'll give that one another second before I've got 3 additional follow-up questions to the points you've just made.
Okay.
In the event that others don't come off, but we'll give it just a little bit more of uncomfortable silence for others. And I'm not seeing any in the chat either, Kendra.
No, I don't see anything.
Are we past the comfortable, uncomfortable silence portion? Dean, I'll throw a couple more questions at you.
Fire away, Jason.
So to your earlier point, to the point you were just making, my question is, okay, sorry, there is a comment here. My good friend is an accountant and she comes monthly and I make sure I'm on top of my payroll on my tax payment.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, that's something, and I just sat down with a business owner this morning about is, you know, their business is small enough where they're like, hey, we know enough to, you know, put that, but we just want someone to double check to make sure we're doing. So, you know, whoever's behind the creative playhouse, that's great. Yeah, it's the easy stuff I put off weekly. Yeah, I realize that. So, but yeah, definitely having someone just overlook and take a look. Hey, am I on track? And not once a year, you know, once a quarter, once a month, just to see, you know, am I doing this right? Because believe me, cleanup work, take whatever you think you're going to charge, you know, get paid, you know, to pay for a bookkeeper, take it ×4, and that's how much it's going to cost to clean up a project. And that's just doing this for years. And I'd rather, you know, guide people in the onset and get them on the right track so they're not paying, you know, 4 times much as more.
So my two, and maybe I'll give this to you in a 2-part question. If your memory's like mine and you happen to forget the first part of the question or the second part of the question, I'll re-ask it to make sure it gets answered. So my 2-part question for you, Dean, on this topic is the term closing your books. Question 1, what does that mean? Number 2, how do bookkeeping practices align with money management and profitability management in a business?
Good questions. Well, first, closing your books is the ideal situation is, hey, once, you know, September is over with, okay, and everything's reconciled, and you always reconcile the bank statement first, reconcile all the balance sheet accounts next, and then look at how things are categorized in both the balance sheet and the income statement. And then you close your books. That means you don't touch that. You don't touch any periods before that, just like you wouldn't touch any transactions from 2022 because your taxes are done, right? And it's a linear progression so that, oh, there's something I should have corrected. Well, you correct that in October and that it'll get you caught up to that. And that's what closing the books means. And then, could you repeat the second part of that again, Jason, for me?
Are you suggesting, Dean, your brain is not the steel trap it used to be?
You know, I'm focused on that one part at a time. You know, I'm eating all the peas on my plate, and then we're moving to the mashed potatoes.
Right.
Okay.
Me too. So the second question is, how do bookkeeping practices like closing your books align with money management and profitability management, maybe making decisions about expense payments and things like this?
Perfect. Yeah. So when you manage, you know, think of all the transactions that put in. So the deposits, the expenses, and all that. Those are the building blocks of the foundation, just like a house. Okay. And once those are set in place and you know that they're categorized right, you have all the explanations of what they are, that's the foundation. So that when you run financials of balance sheet income statements, you know that those transactions are the correct. That goes back to that art of bookkeeping, accuracy, right? And with that, you know, as you all know, as business owners, it's not only about profitability at the end of the year. You know, there's an old saying in business, cash is king, meaning how your cash flow is, because that's what you manage from month to month, right? You have payroll, you have other expenses, and how is your revenue coming in? But you got to have solid financials in order to even know where you are on a cash basis. But when you get into cash flow projections and all that, which all of us do personally and all that, we know how much money we need in order to pay the mortgage and, you know, and childcare or whatever that is. So we're always doing, you know, cash flow projections and money management. But how could you do that if you had no idea what money you have in your account? Or if your financials are so that's why it's important is you're creating those strong building blocks. And it helps if you need to get financing. What's the first thing a commercial banker is going to ask you about financing? Where's your financials? And or if you need a line of credit, same thing. They're going to need your financials. So even if you look at buying another business, guess what? You want to look at their financials, right? To make sure, because not only what's in the financials, but if they can provide you financials like that, you know it's a well-run business. If they say, well, we got to get caught up and we'll give you that in a month, buyer beware. So
Awesome. Well, gosh, Dean, does anyone else have any dying questions here for Dean before we do our wrap up this afternoon? I'd love to hear if anyone has anything out there.
Or what's the golden nugget that you've gotten out of this, you know, 28 minutes, let's say. So, and you can put in nothing at all, or you learned a new acronym. I don't know, you know, you tell me what's valuable, because it's good feedback for me as well.
Awesome. Okay, and while you guys are typing your golden nuggets, because I want you to continue to do that, I just want to bring to your attention, sorry.
I agree, Becky. I kind of like the ART acronym as well. So that's why I keep using it. So, because you don't think of art and you think of bookkeeping in the same word as well, but it's an easy one to remember. And you can use it in several different industries too. So
That's so great. Okay, so remember that just this entire series, we're talking about building your team and owning a small business is a team sport. You can connect to our other Tiny Training webinars from our website. And we do have a great Building Your Bail Team tool out there. Look for this tool. Links are here for you as well. And then Jason right now is currently at AYEC and doing AEYC, sorry. And he's presenting a couple of different presentations this week on sustainable staffing and strategies. We do want to keep hearing from you guys on what types of trainings and things that you would like to hear from. So please, when you do fill out your survey at the end of this, that we can hear from that. And those are some of the upcoming. Don't forget that the next training that we've got coming up is the Thursday after this. I do want to make sure before the 2 o'clock hour that I get this How'd We Do up there. The way that we get to bring these trainings to you and continue them is by your great feedback. We would love to have your feedback today. So please take a minute and fill out the survey. We would appreciate all of that. And with that said, we are 2 o'clock on the nose, and I want to thank you again, Dean, for your amazing information and your great insight and help today. And thanks to everyone else for being a part of our training today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, all the participants. Hey, good luck with everything. What you do is so valuable, and keep doing great work out there, okay?
Perfect. Thanks.